Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking about some more transfer news, but it's not a transfer news where I'm talking about linked players. Today's going to be a different video. It's going to be about why buying a certain player and a player we're linked with is something we do not need. But before I go any further, why don't you hit the subscribe button, why don't you hit the like button, and why don't you comment down below at the end of this video about your thoughts about this video and any other things you would like me to cover. Now, Arsenal have been active in transfer windows in the past, very, very early on. And today is the day where the transfer window has now opened. Now, this is obviously at the time of the recording. It is 15th of July. And this is when fresh faces come through that dressing room door and players will leave. Now, Arsenal have been thinking about certain areas they want to obviously address, which is left wing, striker, midfield, and right wing. Now, I made a video about my left wing targets, which Arsenal are looking to do business with. That is going to be at the end of this video, so make sure you tune into that. But today we're going to be talking about the midfield, and I'll be talking about a player that's had a great debut in the World Cup, and that person is Bouaddi. He currently plays for Lille in the French league, and he had a fantastic game. Now, he's somebody that is not foreign to Arsenal and their scouts. He is somebody that's been on the radar for a while, but I feel like the price tag has definitely shot up after last night's game. Well, not last night's game, but the game against Brazil the other day and the performance against some world-class players. Arsenal do have a midfield issue. It's not because of energy. It's not because of players that can't do certain things. But actually, no, it is that. Certain players can't carry the ball forward as much as we want. And it's not that it's because we don't have the quality. I think for some of these players that are in the team already, it's quite hard to do something that they do not have in their chamber. So what do you need to go and do? You need to go find somebody who can do that. Now, we did have it with Thomas Partey, but obviously he's departed. And I don't feel like Arsenal have addressed that side of the ball as they wanted to. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Martin Zubimendi. Great debut season. But I feel like with Bouaddi, we're getting the same player. What is the difference between Bouaddi and Myles Lewis-Skelly? That's the question I want to ask you guys. I want you to comment down below. What is the difference between both of those players? Myles Lewis-Skelly, fantastic in midfield. He's versatile. Okay, he might not be as effective as left back, but when he's playing that midfield, especially when he played against Fulham, that's when it all started. He's been playing nothing but amazing since then. And I feel like Ayyoub Bouaddi is not going to change much in our game. Now, looking at Bouaddi, he's a fantastic player, a young player. Now, this is the question, another question. Are Arsenal trying to look for young prospects, or are they trying to win, maintain the Premier League and also obtain the Champions League? This is another question that I feel like we need to look at. I don't feel like Arsenal are going to look for young talent. This isn't the Wenger days now towards the end of his career, and it would be a waste to do that. When you have Bouaddi, when you have Skelly, I do not see a difference. If anything, Skelly is Prem proven. We know coming from the French league will be different to playing in the Premier League. The Premier League, Zubimendi, he's somebody that's matured. You know, he's in mid-20s when he joined Arsenal. You know, a regular starter in Spain, won the Euros. And I'm not going to sit there and say he's been amazing every single game. There were times he struggled, and that was the second part of the season. But carrying the ball forward and getting it out is very, very slow from Arsenal's midfield. Now, Declan Rice, as fantastic as he is, he can't do that. He can't. I'm sorry. He doesn't bring the ball forward quick enough from midfield. Defensively, he's sound. He is sound. But yes, let's just take a look at some metrics right now. Just so you know, between Myles Lewis-Skelly and Bouaddi. And before I introduce another player as well, I'll be talking about, let's just have a look. You can see significantly Bouaddi and Myles Lewis-Skelly have played difference when it comes to minutes. I understand that. Pass completion, Myles Lewis-Skelly 92. We've got Bouaddi at 88. Total tackles 7 and Bouaddi 28. Now that's fantastic because we know he gets stuck in. We know that he can do a Declan Rice job as well. That's great. But again, we have to take into account the amount of minutes he's played. Chances created, 15. For Myles Lewis-Skelly, 3. Now, Myles Lewis-Skelly has played probably 4 times less than what Bouaddi's played. So I feel like if he's creating 3 chances every 2 games or 3 games, whatever it is, I feel like he'd be around the 12 mark, which isn't much difference. So there's some stats which outweigh Bouaddi, and there's some stats which Bouaddi obviously outweighs Myles Lewis-Skelly. Now, the biggest factor is obviously the minutes played. And this is what I'm trying to say. There is a big difference between certain things, but there isn't much difference at the same time, if that makes sense. There is another player who I think Arsenal should get, and the player is Sandro Tonali. He's somebody we've also been linked with, and I feel like the reason why he's a better option is because A, experience, B, he is one of the top midfielders in the Premier League, and C, he brings something different in terms of bringing the ball forward, which we currently do not have. So again, we need to look at the metrics of this. Theme, minutes played, I understand. Pass accuracy, obviously, is not great. It's Myles Lewis-Skelly, really good when it comes to the pass accuracy. 2 assists for Sandro Tonali. 0 goals for both. Chances created, 24 for Tonali. And 3 for Myles Lewis-Skelly. Clearances, 57. 22 for Myles Lewis-Skelly. Yellow cards, obviously, that's about discipline, but I'm not going to talk about that. But you can see chances created, 24. Now, 24 is a huge number. The reason why I'm not compared to Declan Rice, because we know Declan Rice can be starting. We know that. But who will complement Declan Rice is the question. So this is why I feel like Sandro Tonali will be a perfect fit for Arsenal, and he'll offer something different, something that Myles Lewis-Skelly can't. Sandro Tonali in front of goal is fantastic. I've seen Skelly score a great goal against Man City, yes, but with Tonali, he's all over the pitch and he can bring the ball forward really quick. I feel like he'll definitely get involved in the attack. It might give Declan Rice a bit more freedom as well, because he doesn't have to worry too much, and he knows Sandro Tonali is great even defensively. That's something we're not talking about. So this is what I'm saying. Arsenal need to win now. So in order to win now, Tonali, I feel like, is your safer option. Does this mean Bouaddi is trash? No, I'm not saying that. Does that mean that if Bouaddi signed for us tomorrow, I'd be annoyed? No, I wouldn't be annoyed. I'm just saying the better fit right now, I think personally, remember this is my personal views, is Sandro Tonali. Purely because of the chances he can create. And I feel like the transition from midfield to attack is quite slow from this season. I don't know about next season, but I do feel like we need to reinforce slightly in midfield. But again, that means somebody will need to go, because you can't have Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Myles Lewis-Skelly and Sandro Tonali all competing for, compete for the midfield role. Now, we know there's 63 games in the season. It could work, but I'm just going to look at last season. Norgard, he didn't get a sniff. Yeah? He got Premier League medal, but he did not play. He just had the cup games. Could that be the same thing for Skelly or Zubimendi if Tonali or Bouaddi walked in the door? Who knows? Would Skelly leave? We still don't know. There's no concrete suggestion that he will be staying, but there is a lot of suggestion and ideas around Arsenal signing a new midfielder. There's more chance of us signing a midfielder than Myles Lewis-Skelly leaving. So that is my opinion. So yes, I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think Arsenal should sign? Do you think Arsenal should sign Sandro Tonali? Do you think it's better off getting Bouaddi because he's younger? He's somebody we can build around as well. He could complement Declan Rice. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Till next time.